Welcome to the Explainer. You know those tools that cybersecurity pros and, well, hackers use to find security holes? Have you ever wondered what's actually inside them? Well, today, we're popping the hood on a modern vulnerability scanner to see exactly how it ticks.
So get this. What if you could buy a full-blown, professional-grade cybersecurity platform, but it's packaged as a student project? Sounds a little wild, right? But it's a real thing. And honestly, it's the perfect blueprint for us to deconstruct the anatomy of a modern scanner.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with what this project in a box actually is. Then we'll check out the user's view, the cockpit. From there, it's into the engine room to see the tech. We'll see how this stuff leads to a career, and then we'll wrap up with the bigger picture.
Okay, Section 1, a project in a box. Let's really understand the pitch here. So first things first, what exactly is this thing, and who's it for? So here's the kicker. This isn't just software you buy off the shelf. It's literally a ready-made final year project for computer science students. Think of it like a model kit, but instead of a plane, you're building a professional-level penetration testing tool. It's designed to show off some serious skills, and honestly, it's a brilliant way to learn.
All right, let's jump into the cockpit. What's it actually like to use this thing? What features does a user see?
You know, the workflow is super straightforward, and it's pretty much exactly how pro security analysts do it. First, you launch a scan. You can target one machine or a whole network, using different techniques to, digitally knock on doors. Then you just track its progress. The dashboard gives you live updates, what it's found, which ports are open, all that good stuff. And finally, boom, you generate a comprehensive report that not only tells you what's wrong, but gives you advice on how to fix it.
Okay, so this is where the real intelligence of the tool comes in. It's not just finding open ports. It's using this amazing tool called python-nmap to figure out the exact services and versions running on those ports. But here's the best part. It then takes that information and automatically checks it against the National Vulnerability Database, or CVEs. That's basically the world's biggest library of known security flaws. And, of course, it logs absolutely everything for auditing purposes. You gotta have that paper trail. And look at this. It even has professional-level security built right in. Just like in a real company, you can't have everyone with the keys to the kingdom, so you have different user roles. The administrator runs the whole show. The analyst is the one who actually gets to run the scans. And the viewer? They can look but can't touch. Perfect for managers or auditors. This kind of role-based access is a huge deal in enterprise software. All right, now for my favorite part. Let's get our hands dirty and look inside the engine room. What's the tech that actually makes this whole platform run? Whoa, okay, so you can see right away, this is no simple little script. This is a full-stack web application. We're talking Python with the Django framework, which is a powerhouse. You've got Celery and Redis to handle the heavy lifting asynchronously. We'll get to that. A solid PostgreSQL database, a modern front end with Bootstrap and Chart.js. This is legit. This is a tech stack you'd find in a real-world tech company, for sure. So Django is really the backbone of this whole operation. It's a high-level Python framework that lets you build things fast and, more importantly, securely. It has built-in protection against all sorts of common web attacks, which, if you're building a security tool, that's kind of non-negotiable, right? Okay, Celery and Redis. This is the secret sauce for making the user experience, well, not terrible. Think about it. A full network scan can take ages. You can't just have the user's browser freeze up while it's running. So the app hands off that big, time-consuming job to Celery, which manages it in the background. Redis is like the messenger service that makes sure the jobs get delivered. It's a game changer. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, a synchronous task. You click a button and your entire screen is frozen. Useless. You're just sitting there, waiting. On the other hand, asynchronous. You click scan, the job gets sent to a background worker, and you're totally free to keep using the app. You can go check other reports, set up another scan, whatever. This isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential for any serious web application today. And this right here, this is the scanner's brain, the NVD API. It's an interface that connects directly to the US government's massive database of every known cybersecurity vulnerability. So when our scanner finds a specific version of some software, it can instantly query this database and ask, hey, is this thing vulnerable? That's the leap from just being a port scanner to being a true vulnerability scanner. Okay, so we've seen what it is and how it works, but now let's talk about the part that I think is most important, the why. Why does a project like this even matter? How does it help someone go from code to a career? Because this isn't just some abstract academic exercise. The tool we're looking at is a model for platforms that professionals use every single day. We're talking network security audits, full-on penetration testing, and even helping companies stay compliant with regulations like PCI for credit cards or HIPAA for healthcare. This is the kind of stuff that goes on in a security operations center or SOC all the time. It's about as real-world as you can get.
And this quote from the source material just hits the nail on the head. A project like this showcases skills that are highly valued by employers. It's not just about a grade, it's about proving you can do the job before you even get an interview.
So what exactly are those skills? Well, look at this list. You get hands-on experience with full-stack Django development. You learn how to implement that crucial asynchronous processing we talked about. You're integrating with third-party APIs, designing databases specifically for security data, and, of course, you're learning the fundamental methodology behind vulnerability assessments. This is a 5-point checklist for a dream cybersecurity resume.
All right, let's bring it all home. What does something like this ultimate learning tool, tell us about the bigger picture for tech education?
When you boil it all down, a project like this is so much more than just a clever idea. It's a powerful blueprint for bridging that massive gap between classroom theory and real-world practice. In a field like cybersecurity that changes by the minute, this kind of hands-on experience isn't just helpful, it's everything. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? As these professional-grade tools become accessible blueprints for learning, what's the next frontier for cybersecurity education? If students are building today what the pros were using yesterday, what are they going to be building tomorrow? It really makes you wonder where this is all heading.